In control. You said that.
Let me ask
you.
Somebody who know me for real, right? Who really know me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear.
I think you had. Do you think I'm like from
what she got?
I think she's heavy. I think she's heavy.
Atlanta was calm for a minute until the internet exploded with a betrayal nobody was ready for.
The video ain't really the issue. The video being posted up on social media is the issue. If someone would have sent her that video privately, she and I would have had one conversation about it. And
Out of nowhere, a leaked hotel video sent shockwaves through the city and the entire Harris family. The footage? It showed none other than Clifford T. Harris in a dimly lit luxury suite with Shekinah Anderson, the very woman the world once knew as Tiny's ride or die best friend. This wasn't just online gossip anymore. This was cold, undeniable proof of betrayal caught on camera. TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram went up in flames overnight. Hashtags like #exposed and #justice for Tiny hit the top trends before sunrise, with fans in disbelief, critics furious, and supporters straight up heartbroken. The video had all the details that made it impossible to deny. Fancy champagne bottles littered the room, designer heels tossed on the floor, hotel curtains half closed, and right there in the middle of it all, T.I. and Shekinah locked in an embrace that crushed the family man image he'd built for decades. Loyalty, respect, family, gone in one shocking clip. Fans didn't waste time either. They started stitching the video with old interviews of Tiny talking about love and trust, and that's when things got real. Every word she'd said before suddenly hit harder, making the betrayal sting even deeper. What started as whispers in the blogs turned into a full-blown digital earthquake. The Harris family wasn't just trending. They were unraveling in real time for the whole world to see. But Tiny? She wasn't about to let her pain be entertainment. No cryptic captions, no quiet hiding. She showed up in court with her head high and heartbreak written all over her face. Then came the headline nobody saw coming: the betrayal lawsuit of the decade. Tiny hit both T.I. and Shekinah with a $50 million lawsuit claiming emotional abuse, betrayal, and public humiliation. Reporters were stunned. $50 million. That's what she says decades of loyalty destroyed is worth. And honestly, after everything that went down, who could even blame her? Her home was shattered, her pride stripped bare, and her pain was now the internet's favorite drama. The courtroom wasn't just a place for justice anymore. It turned into the biggest stage in America. Cameras flashed like fireworks as the lawyers read out the charges, but nobody was ready for what came next. Out of nowhere, an anonymous source slid a mysterious diary across the table, allegedly written by Shekinah herself. Inside, the words sliced like knives. Clifford promised me he'd leave Tiny. He told me we'd rule the industry together. The entire courtroom froze. Those lines hit like a bomb going off. Tiny broke down in tears, screaming that they had destroyed her life, her peace, and her family. That breakdown went viral instantly. Millions watched it.
Just put a lot of back and forth, a lot more strain on just what we had going on. Afraid of that. And it did put some strain on our relationship. If you see him, we was about to divorce here and breaking up here.
Hearts breaking as Tiny transformed from a reality star into the face of betrayal itself. People started calling her a symbol for every woman who's ever been lied to and left in the dark. But I wasn't taking that humiliation lying down. His team clapped back hard, claiming the video was staged, the diary fake, and the whole setup nothing but a trap. They accused Shekinah of pulling strings for fame and money, trying to destroy him for clout. The crowd gasped. Was this really the betrayal everyone thought it was? Or a master plan to bring a music legend down for good? Then came the twist nobody expected. Shekinah stood up and fired back. She shouted that T.I. had played her, that he'd promised her love and a future but left her to face the heat alone. The tension was electric. Two women who once called each other sisters now stood on opposite sides, both fighting not just for truth, but for their dignity. Meanwhile, outside that courtroom, chaos reigned online. Shekinah's Instagram turned into a digital battlefield. Comments calling her a snake, a homewrecker, and worse filled her feed by the thousands. The internet wasn't just watching, it was choosing sides, and this story was spinning way out of control. Memes tore across the internet, turning Shekinah into the villain of a modern-day soap opera while Tiny was crowned the queen of heartbreak. Her face was painted on digital murals with captions like "Justice for Tiny" and "The Queen deserves better." Timelines overflowed with crying emojis and heartbroken posts, while critics dragged T.I. for burning down the empire he'd built with his own hands. Fans didn't just gossip, they mourned. Then came the moment that shattered hearts everywhere. Cameras flashed as Tiny walked out of court, holding her daughter's hand. Her voice trembled, her eyes red from tears, and she whispered, "Look what your father did to us. Look how he destroyed our home." That single line broke the internet, replayed millions of times, freezing timelines in pure silence. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was real pain. A family falling apart in front of the whole world. And as sympathy poured in, T.I.'s empire started to crumble fast. Endorsements vanished overnight, concerts were canceled, and angry fans showed up outside his mansion with signs demanding accountability. Meanwhile, Shekinah's name was buried under hate, her comments filled with venom, her reputation scorched beyond repair. Tiny, though shattered, stood tall, the woman everyone wept for, the wife who carried her pain with strength. But just when everyone thought things couldn't get worse, boom, Tiny's lawyers dropped evidence that flipped the courtroom upside down. Out of nowhere came an audio recording, a man's voice, sounding exactly like T.I., whispering, "Just keep it quiet, Shekinah. Tiny can never know. If this gets out, everything I built is gone." The entire courtroom gasped. Reporters fumbled with their phones, racing to post the news. Tiny buried her face in her hands, shaking as that voice echoed through the speakers. Then came the knockout punch. Hotel receipts showing Shekinah's name tied directly to T.I.'s suite booking. At that moment, this wasn't just online speculation, it was documented betrayal. The proof was cold, stamped, and undeniable. By the second day of the trial, the tension had hit another level. The courtroom had turned into a theater of heartbreak, with every seat filled and cameras rolling. Then, Tiny's lawyers pulled out a hard drive packed with hours of secret recordings. And the second that first clip started playing, the entire room went dead silent. You could feel the pain hanging in the air. The courtroom went dead silent as a man's voice, unmistakably sounding like T.I., echoed through the speakers. "Just keep it quiet, Shekinah. Tiny can never know. If this gets out, everything I built is gone." Gasps tore through the room. Tiny buried her face in her hands as reporters nearly fell over each other trying to post the quote first. Within seconds, hashtags exploded across social media. Hashtag Empire Destroyed, hashtag Tiny vs. T.I., hashtag Shekinah Exposed. The internet had officially lost its mind. At that point, the betrayal was no longer rumor. It was official, stamped, and permanent for the world to see. But the shock didn't stop there. Tiny's lawyers slammed down a stack of hotel receipts right onto the table. Reservations under Clifford Harris with Shekinah Anderson listed as the guest. The jury's expressions said it all. This wasn't fan gossip anymore. This was betrayal in black and white, signed and sealed. Tiny's attorney faced the jury and thundered, "This is not speculation. This is proof that Clifford Harris destroyed his wife's trust, humiliated her publicly, and shattered their family before millions." The crowd inside gasped while Tiny, trembling and sobbing, collapsed into her lawyer's arms. The gallery erupted into whispers, flashes, and disbelief as reporters stormed out to file breaking news updates in real time. Meanwhile, the defense scrambled to fight back. T.I.'s lawyer waved papers in the air, claiming the receipts were fake, fabricated by industry enemies trying to take him down, he shouted. And just like that, chaos spilled online again. Conspiracy theories started flying. Was this a setup? Was someone trying to destroy one of hip-hop's biggest icons from the inside out? The internet split right down the middle. Some fans claimed T.I. was being framed, a victim of jealousy and power games, but others said it loud. This was the coldest betrayal the hip-hop world had ever witnessed. Then, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally came. Shekinah's turn on the stand. She rose slowly, trembling but defiant, locking eyes with both T.I. and Tiny. Her voice shook, but her words were sharp. The world held its breath as she began to confess. "I never wanted to hurt Tiny. She was my sister," Shekinah cried, her voice cracking as tears streamed down her face. "But T.I. promised me everything. He said he'd leave her. He said I was the one." The entire courtroom leaned in, every word slicing through the silence like a blade. Outside, protesters shouted, "Stand with Tiny!" While inside, fans muttered "liar" under their breath. The tension was unbearable. Shekinah tried to paint herself as the victim, but sympathy was nowhere to be found. Tiny's lawyers weren't letting her off easy. they came ready for war. Out came screenshots of private DMs allegedly between Shekinah and T.I., and they were brutal. One message read, "Cliff, I can't wait until she's out of the picture. It's finally going to be just us." The room exploded. Reporters bolted from their seats to post the headline first, while social media froze for a moment before detonating into chaos. The screenshots spread everywhere, flooding timelines with disbelief and anger. Overnight, Shekinah wasn't just the other woman, she was now the co-conspirator, plotting against her own best friend. Tiny, sobbing uncontrollably, turned to the judge and cried out, "How much more do I have to see? How much more can a woman take?" Her raw breakdown hit millions online within hours. Labeled one of the most heartbreaking courtroom moments ever caught on camera. Fans flooded her page with messages of love and support, while Shekinah's page turned into a war zone. But the storm wasn't done yet. Not even close. A hotel employee took the stand next, his voice steady as he testified that he'd personally seen T.Y. and Shekinah checking in together on multiple occasions. His words hit like thunder. That's when T.I. snapped, slamming his fist on the table and shouting, "They're lying! This is all lies! I'm being set up!" The judge immediately warned him about contempt of court, but the cameras were already rolling. Within minutes, the footage hit every major platform. Clips titled "The Empire Crumbles" and "Caught in the Act" went viral overnight, gathering millions of views. Outside, chaos reigned. News vans lined the courthouse steps. Fans screamed through barricades, and police struggled to control the crowd. This wasn't just a trial anymore. It had turned into a public circus, and every second was being streamed to the world. Helicopters roared overhead while influencers live-streamed every single moment to millions of viewers glued to their screens. Every gasp, every tear, every glare inside that courtroom was instantly dissected online. Outside, protesters waved giant signs screaming, "Ban the betrayers!" while new murals of Tiny popped up across Atlanta, painted as a queen rising from ashes, wearing heartbreak like a crown. The entire world was watching, turning a private tragedy into a global circus of emotion and chaos. Then came the moment that flipped everything, the financial bombshell. An anonymous source leaked bank records straight to the media, showing huge transfers from T.I.'s personal accounts to Shekinah, tens of thousands of dollars at a time, spread over 2 years. The implication was devastating. This wasn't just an affair anymore, it looked like hush money. Proof that the betrayal ran way deeper than anyone imagined. Tiny gasped as the numbers lit up on the courtroom projector. The jury sat frozen, jaws on the floor, and then Shekinah broke down completely, screaming through tears. "It wasn't about money! I loved him! I thought he loved me back!" The courtroom was chaos. Cameras flashing, lawyers yelling, spectators crying. Critics later called her breakdown the performance of a lifetime, while fans online said it was the final nail in her coffin. By now, Tiny had become so much more than a betrayed wife. She was a symbol, a voice for every woman who had ever been lied to, played, and left to pick up the pieces. Emerging from the courthouse, pale but composed, she looked straight into the cameras and said, "This isn't just about me. This is about every woman who's ever been lied to, betrayed, and broken. I will fight until the truth is heard." Those words shook the internet. Every news outlet replayed the clip on loop. "The Queen Speaks" became a trending headline across every platform. Tiny's quiet strength made her the tragic heroine of the biggest betrayal scandal in modern hip-hop history. Meanwhile, T.I. sat stone-faced in the courtroom, watching everything he'd built over decades crumble right in front of him. Endorsements gone, concerts canceled, fans chanting outside his mansion for justice. His name, once tied to respect and power, now dripped with betrayal and shame. And Shekinah, the woman who once chased fame, was now drowning in pure humiliation. Her Instagram became a war zone filled with hate comments, clown emojis, and endless memes mocking her downfall. Through it all, Tiny, though shattered, stood taller than ever. Her pain had turned into power, carried by millions who saw her not just as a victim, but as the queen of heartbreak and resilience. What began as one leaked hotel video had now spiraled into an all-out war filled with receipts, recordings, tears, and shattered trust. The courtroom wasn't a place for justice anymore. It had transformed into the most explosive stage in America. Every day brought a new twist, and the deeper they dug, the darker the truth got. By the third week, this wasn't just a trial. It was a real-life Shakespearean tragedy. Cameras flashed as Tiny sat trembling, hands shaking, eyes locked on the two people who'd ripped her entire world apart. Her husband, T.I., and her once-beloved best friend, Shekinah. The betrayal wasn't rumor anymore. It was being read out loud, word for word, through diaries, voice notes, and receipts that left no room for doubt. The story was so vivid, so raw, it felt like the world was watching heartbreak unfold live. Then Shekinah took the microphone. Her voice shook, but her words hit like thunder. Clifford promised me love. He promised me freedom. He told me Tiny was holding him back. The entire gallery gasped. Tiny broke down completely, collapsing into her lawyer's arms as cameras captured every second of it. Outside, social media froze. Timelines filled with disbelief, sympathy, and rage. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was heartbreak turned into entertainment, dissected by millions across the globe. Hashtags like #TinyBroken and #ExposedForever shot straight to the top. Fans posted crying reaction videos, influencers streamed themselves reading diary entries out loud, and memes of T.I. spread everywhere with captions like Empire of Lies and Snake of the South. Meanwhile, Shekinah's name became digital poison. People dug up old interviews, dragging her for clout chasing and calling her a homewrecker in every comment section. The internet had officially chosen its queen, Tiny, broken but undefeated, humiliated yet unshakable. She became a living symbol for every woman who'd ever been betrayed by the man she trusted most. But just when it seemed like things couldn't possibly get more explosive, Tiny's lawyers dropped the second leak. The moment they revealed it, the courtroom erupted into chaos. Whatever defense T.I. and Shekinah thought they had left was about to be destroyed. For good. The courtroom went dead still as the private voicemail played over the speakers. It was T.I.'s voice, low, desperate, and cracking under pressure. I can't let Tiny know. If this gets out, it's over for me. But you're the only one who understands me. The air left the room. Reporters fumbled with their phones, racing to upload the audio online before anyone else. Then came the scream. Tiny's scream, sharp and piercing, cut through the courtroom so loud it silenced the entire building. "You ruined my family! You lied to my children!" she shouted, trembling with rage and heartbreak. Within minutes, that outburst became the headline everywhere, replayed nonstop on TV, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The betrayal wasn't just news now. It was cemented as one of the most devastating scandals in hip-hop history. Outside, Atlanta itself felt like it was on fire. Protesters lined the streets with banners reading "Justice for Tiny" and "Cancel T.I. Forever." Meanwhile, Shekinah became the internet's villain of the year. Mocked with cardboard cutouts and chants, her name dragged through every feed imaginable. The courthouse steps turned into a circus. News anchors, podcasters, bloggers, and YouTubers fought for camera time, dissecting every tear, every scream, every new twist. Helicopters hovered above, while news vans snaked down the block. Fans live-streamed like they were watching the downfall of a king in real time. Inside, Tiny took the stand for the testimony that would break hearts worldwide. Her voice cracked, trembling, but fierce. "I gave him my youth, my loyalty, my heart, and he traded it all for lies with my so-called best friend." The words hit like knives, slicing through the tension and leaving the courtroom frozen. T.I. tried to fire back, claiming he was manipulated, lured, and trapped. But the jury's icy stares told another story. They weren't buying it. Shekinah snapped again, her voice rising above the whispers. "He loved me. Don't make me the villain when all I did was believe his lies." But to the world watching, there was no debate. Shekinah had crossed the ultimate line, betraying her best friend for the man she should have protected her from. And the internet had already handed down its verdict. And then came the final dagger, the moment that silenced even the loudest voices in the courtroom. Tiny's lawyers dropped a stack of diary pages written in Shekinah's own handwriting. The entries revealed an obsession that made the whole room gasp. One chilling line read, "Clifford said we'd rule the industry together. Tiny is nothing compared to what we have." The gallery erupted in shock. Cameras zoomed in as Tiny collapsed for the second time, clutching her chest and whispering through sobs. Why me? Why? It was heartbreaking. Pure, raw pain captured from every angle and blasted across the internet within minutes. That single moment transformed the scandal from messy entertainment into pure tragedy, the kind you can feel in your bones. By the time the judge finally adjourned court, the damage was done. deep, permanent, and public. Tiny had to be carried out of the building into a black SUV, sobbing uncontrollably, while T.I. walked out with his head hung low, ignoring every reporter's screaming questions as a chorus of boos followed him down the steps. Shekinah, once loud and proud, now hid behind dark glasses, shoving through a storm of insults, her former confidence completely drowned in shame. Outside, the chaos didn't stop. Social media went into overdrive. Clips of Tiny's collapse gathered millions of views, fans posting crying videos, influencers sharing their own betrayal stories, and non-stop debates about whether his career could ever recover. The fallout was nothing short of catastrophic. Radio stations openly discussed pulling his music. Hashtags like #CancelT trended for days. Major brands dropped him overnight. Entire tours were canceled, and sponsors backed out one by one. His once untouchable empire, the legacy he'd spent decades building, was crumbling brick by brick for the whole world to witness. As for Shekinah, her name became permanently stamped with scandal. Old clips from her reality show resurfaced and turned into memes mocking her downfall. From best friend to betrayer, fans joked online. But through it all, Tiny, though shattered, carried herself like a survivor. Her heartbreak had turned into power, and the world lifted her higher than ever, calling her the Queen of Heartbreak. The most gut-wrenching image of all came from a fan's shaky phone video. Tiny holding her daughter's hand outside the courthouse, whispering softly through tears, "This is why I fought to protect you, to show you that no woman deserves this," Tiny whispered, her voice trembling but unbroken. That clip went viral in minutes, instantly captioned, "A queen, broken but never defeated." It became the symbol of everything this story carried: betrayal, pain, resilience, and the raw strength of a woman standing tall, even as her world burned down around her. And now, as the dust begins to settle, the questions are louder than ever. Will Tiny ever truly heal from this public heartbreak? Can T.I. survive the destruction of his empire? Or has his legacy been poisoned forever? And has Shekinah sealed her fate as one of the most hated figures in hip-hop history? This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. This was betrayal on the grandest stage possible. A love story shattered, a friendship turned into knives, children forced to carry the scars of choices they never asked for. We toss the word drama around like it's entertainment, but this wasn't entertainment. This was tragedy, laid bare for millions to watch. A family ripped apart, a courtroom turned into a theater of heartbreak. History won't remember this as mere gossip. It will remember it as the day an empire collapsed, the day a queen cried out for justice and millions stood with her. Tiny isn't just a headline. She's a symbol for every person betrayed behind closed doors. So now I'll ask you, do you stand with Tiny? Do you think I can ever rebuild what's left? Or has Shekinah destroyed the last piece of trust this family had? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this isn't just drama. It's history unfolding in real time. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share this video with your people, and drop a comment below. Let's talk about it together.